What are civil liberties? They are the basic political freedoms that protect citizens from government abuses of power. At the center of civil liberties lies the Constitution, specifically the amendments that it is comprised of. At the heart of this beast that is the Constitution, we have the Bill of Rights. Did that make you feel uncomfortable? Well, too fucking bad, Pansy. We're allowed to do it because of our First Amendment liberties. Among these liberties are freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom to assemble, to petition, and most important of all, my favorite, freedom of speech. And the one thing that ruins everything, protections of obscenities. We'll touch on that later. Back to the First Amendment. We have three major guarantees: freedom of religion, freedom of press, and freedom of speech. The Constitution allows anyone and everyone to worship any idol, deity, or god they so wish to, while also preventing the government from establishing a national religion. Let's take a look.
Here we see a walled Catholic in its natural habitat, a church. Studies for that institute that doesn't really exist show that they're very temperamental when it comes to their faith. Some are easily provoked and will even go as far as to shove their faith right down your throat. We have to be careful. This walled, majestic beauty is very easily startled. This is getting boring. I'm gonna go poke it with a stick.
Do you mind?
Crikey, he's angry. Let's get out of here. As we saw, these religious people can be quite aggressive. Our little crusader back there almost had his way with me. He's protected under the Free Exercise Clause of the First Amendment, so he is allowed to carry on with his horrible, gruesome way of law. Next, we'll take a look at the freedom of press, which is also guaranteed under the First Amendment. This amendment states that we the people are allowed to write, print, and distribute whatever we want.
Well, not exactly.
Hey, this is more gig.
If you're not going to get the facts right, somebody is going to have to replace you.
This is ridiculous. I was third runner-up for 6th Man of the Year. I don't have to deal with this.
Get out of here. That is exactly what I'm talking about. The government reserves the right to censor all obscenities from the public. Though that leap was just made by our sound guys, that's not exactly how it works out there. Out there in the real world, there are many specific restrictions on obscene speech. Unfortunately, yes, swearing is not against the law. Things such as child pornography and anything the government rules as obscene can be censored. It is tricky business, however, as the decisions on obscenities are made on a case-by-case basis because of ambiguity. Just as limiting obscenities limits one's freedom of speech, prior restraint and libel limit our freedom of press. In the New York Times versus the United States, a New York Times newspaper got a hold of documents from the Pentagon that was supposed to be confidential. The Times then released these papers, leading to the establishment of prior restraint by the Supreme Court. Prior restraint is when the government prevents a publication from being published because of its possible harmful implications before it meets the eyes of ready readers. Even with all of these restrictions, there are many forms of communication the government does not limit. Things such as symbolic speech are rarely ever censored, but provide an adequate outlet for people's anger, frustration, while preventing any real harm or danger to anyone.
Today we put an end to this wretched flag. For too long it served as a source of inspiration for their people. Their kind doesn't need inspiration. They deserve to be put down. Today dawns a new day for the Canadian Conservatives Club, as we will be burning one of their national relics. It's time we put an end to those maple syrup drinking, hockey stick wielding, moose loving freeloaders.
No! All I want is more money, friend!
Your kind makes me sick.
This flag burning makes me sick, pal! It's gotta be illegal, buddy!
Not in America, it ain't.
This is all gay, you're all gay, pals! Can you tell me what was wrong with that scene? No, it wasn't a flag burning. That's protected under the freedom of speech. That racial slur they used against that freeloader? Nope, also protected. The way they hold that man against his will and force him to watch a symbol of the nation be decimated on the ground at his feet? Nope, still not it. It was those awful words he said. Yes, the one starting with the G. That man was arrested for his hate speech towards that nice man. That man is still in counseling to this day about those awful words spoken to him. You can't just go around calling intersexuals the G word.
Next on the list of amendments, the right to bear arms.
No, sorry, not bear arms. Arms as in guns.
Oh, well then back to the chopper.
Excuse me, but I think if anyone's gonna tell all these people about our Second Amendment right, it should be me. After all, the Second Amendment is the most important amendment in the Constitution. It gives people the right to protect themselves from enemies, from the government, and from local strangers at the bar.
This is very uncalled for. The Second Amendment is pretty straightforward.
I think I'll decide what's straightforward around here.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. This is very unprofessional.
You trying to fight?
Quite the opposite.
I'd kill you for being so rude.
The Second Amendment grants citizens the liberty to protect themselves from threats against their lives.
The Third Amendment is not well known and has never actually been needed, but nonetheless it is there to protect the people. It states that under no circumstances do citizens have to quarter soldiers. Their property is theirs, and they choose what to do with it, what they want. Wait, is that all it says?
Yeah.
Huh. That's pretty stupid. Well, I guess that's all on the Third Amendment. Oof.
Go, Diego, go.
We have a warrant for Mrs. Clinton's arrest.
Oh, God.
I can explain.
Explain it to the judge.
Get on the ground.
Wait, you said you had a warrant for Mrs. Clinton. Mr. Clinton, that's my girlfriend.
Oh, well, have a nice day, sir. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yep.
Want to get some coffee and donuts?
Nice. Great idea.
Next on the list, we have the Fifth Amendment. This gives people the protections from self-incrimination and double jeopardy. This most famously gives people the right to plead the Fifth.
Is it true? The rumors about you and Laura Swessel?
I plead the Fifth.
Finally, we have the Sixth Amendment, which guarantees the right to a fair and speedy trial. Then we have the Seventh Amendment, which guarantees a jury trial for an offense over $20. Then, finally, our favorite amendment. We'll have the 8th Amendment, which protects citizens against cruel and unusual punishment. As you see, no matter how large and powerful the government can get, we will always have civil liberties guaranteed to us by the Bill of Rights. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed our great newscasting, our family-friendly language, and our useful skits. Please subscribe.
Okay, let's get pumped, okay? We're gonna go in there, okay? And we're gonna put him in his place, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, high energy, high focus. Okay.
Deep breaths. Let's do this.
Let's make Mr. Beyl proud.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't want to shoot him right away.
Right.
But if he pulls out a firearm,
Shoot.
aim below the belt.
Below the
I'll find some peace tonight.